All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday to everybody that's starting a new work week. Well, actually, the new week starts Sundays, but hopefully you guys had a good weekend with all the bullshit going on with ICE. Trump is really cracking down. Now, he's targeting the homeless encampments. And like I've been saying, the West Coast and the East Coast, usually any large liberal city is going to have these large encampments like Oakland. Oakland's notorious for it because everybody's parking their RVs out on the streets. But this one pretty much hits close to home. Let's see what our local news channels are talking about. Shout out to KPIX Bay Area, Channel 5 News.
President Trump has a plan to address the homelessness issue. He scheduled a press conference for tomorrow.
The president released a statement saying that he would take care of homelessness, quote, just like I took care of the border.
I hear sarcasm in that. But let's see how he plans to take care of this.
This is raising concerns here in the Bay Area. Back in July, the president signed an executive order addressing the homeless crisis, where he identified mental illness as one of the root causes.
That order endorsed forced commitment as a way to solve the problem, but a group of mental health advocates say that's the wrong approach. John Ramos has the story.
For years now, a group called FASME, Families Advocating for the Seriously Mentally Ill, have been asking government to address the issue of mental illness. Now, it looks like that's happening, but not in the way they were hoping for. FASME has been at the forefront of mental health advocacy in the East Bay, staging protests in Alameda County over the lack of treatment at the Santa Rita jail, where most people in crisis end up.
Yeah, and those people get treated like shit too. Alameda County Jail and Santa Clara County jails, they just face a lot of scrutiny. A lot of rape charges, everything just happens between the inmates and the employees that work there. It's just hella bullshit and hella corruption that goes on there. Those are the most corrupted jails in the Bay Area.
People don't understand. If you haven't lived with it, you don't understand the complexity of serious mental illness.
Margot Dashel has a sister who's living on the streets with a mental illness, so you'd think she might be happy about President Trump's executive order that includes, quote, shifting homeless individuals into long-term institutional settings for humane treatment through the appropriate use of civil commitment to restore public order.
I mean, there's two places that homeless people want to be when they do want help. You have to remember, going to shelters, it's dangerous. A lot of those people in there get attacked. So it's not the safest place for them, let alone they don't want to be at the shelter by 7 p.m. every day. They don't want their lives micromanaged. It's like they want help, but they don't want to be told what to do at the same time. So there's two other places they could go. Either a hospital or the jail. As you know, I'm in healthcare, so there's a lot of patients that come in that pretty much have nowhere to go. They don't have a car. It just really depends on what's going on. Like when I was security, I used to spend most of my time in the emergency room, and they brought in homeless people all the time. They just wanted a warm bed and some food a lot of times. They acted crazy while they were there, but really there wasn't really much wrong with them physically. They're in good health, but mentally they're sick of this shit. So hospitals are short-term stays. It's thousands of dollars every night for each patient to be there. So a mental patient won't be there that long. In a regular hospital, no.
If one looks at it superficially, oh, this is humane. But if you go into it, you see that it's penalizing, and not promoting.
It adds on to the problem. Let's say a lot of these homeless people were veterans. So why are they homeless in the first place? Somebody that served this country, they end up with mental issues, starting from PTSD. Everything that they saw overseas is starting to bother them. Heads being flown off, shot off. You come back over here. It's like I had a great uncle that experienced all that. And he was homeless in the downtown San Jose area for years. He passed away back in 2013. But yeah, that's an example right there.
Treatment.
The women of FASME all share the struggle of having a loved one with a serious mental illness. They've criticized local governments for being hands-off when it comes to treatment, and ironically have even advocated that some compulsory treatment may be necessary. but the simplistic language of the executive order has them.
In a first world country, let alone California has the biggest economy in the United States, so we shouldn't even be having these issues to begin with. And the people that are well off are living off of old money, so they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay their rent every month because they had a lot of properties passed off to them. All they have to do is sell it, move to another country, and still live large.
Concerned.
We don't need an administration that is as provenly callous towards the vulnerable as this one to be forcing our kids into places that are not designed to treat them, that are not designed to support them. That is the fear, that they will they'll criminalize an illness.
The order portrays homelessness and mental illness as a crime and safety issue.
A lot of these people are freelancers. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that love them. Maybe they didn't want to deal with their families. A lot of these people have children. They were once married, and majority of the homeless population in America are men. They're middle-aged men. But then if you fast forward to other first world countries like China, Japan, a lot of the homeless population are people in their 20s that went to college and everything. So it's completely different in both places.
And focuses on law enforcement as a solution. Allison Monroe had an adoptive daughter who died of a fentanyl overdose while living on the streets.
You know, if they defined her as an offender, they might put her in jail forever. And I wouldn't have any say about it or any way of finding out what's going on. So I would not want this kind of system implemented anywhere near the many places in the Bay Area where my daughter used to hang out.
The history of government's involvement with mental illness is a dark one. For much of the early 20th century, patients were locked away in insane asylums that became known as snakes.
Look at that. Insane asylums. They all look malnutritious. Oh, man. That's crazy. It's like they all look lost. Like their soul is gone. Just look at the photograph. That's crazy, fam. Nah. It's like, imagine being institutionalized for being homeless. On top of that, remember they started taxing these people and then fining them for not having medical insurance? So if you don't have medical insurance or a place to live, you're being fined. I'm like, okay, so how are they going to keep up with these people not having medical insurance? It's like all these laws are stupid, man.
Snake pits. That changed starting in the 1960s.
When the asylums closed, people were supposed to have robust treatment within the community. That didn't happen. People wound up on the streets. You know, so it's like a pendulum that swings from one extreme to the other, and it swung all the way to the side of neglect, and now we're afraid he's going to take us back there, rather than saying, what are the targeted ways that we can improve the system we have now?
The pendulum is indeed swinging with a force that is hard to predict. But so far, the simple answers to problems as complicated as homelessness and mental illness.
And it's like, you would think that a lot of these homeless people, they get hit by cars because places like San Francisco, there's so much traffic and cars. You'd think that they'll just randomly just run out in the street. But then if you go to Oakland, when you're getting off the ramps, the tent cities already start before you even get off the freeway. I'm talking about 980, 880. It's crazy.
Aren't giving those with a personal connection much room for hope.
Yeah, without more mental health hospitals, advocates believe that the homeless might be treated the same way undocumented immigrants are.
Oh.
Sent to makeshift camps. Andrea?
President Trump has.
And you know what? It might be safer if they go that route too. They detain them the same way they do ICE goes and oh my God, that's a mess. So basically, that sounds like that'll be added to ICE's assignment. So not only going after illegal immigrants without a green card, but going after homeless people too. They have nowhere to go. You know, as bad as this sounds, it's like, what other solutions? There's not much else they could do for these people that are unhoused. But we all know it's out of control because some of the unhoused are undocumented as well. This is Kai DeVale. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I hope you learned some history in this lesson. This is terrible, but we're moving forward. This is Cali LaVeo. Peace.